What was that? I should kill everyone and escape? Oh, sorry. It's just the voices. Yeah. Oh, come on, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's not what they really said.
Oh, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you really, really bad.
Howdy, how's it going? This is the J Mark and Asia channel. My name is J Mark, and this is my wife Asia.
Hi.
And today we're going to be talking about a movie. We're going to have a movie conversation.
We are. That's what these segments are called. They're movie conversations.
Movie conversations with J Mark and Asia. What we're going to talk about today is Suicide Squad. Just got back from watching it about 5 minutes ago, and we're going to get right into it. So
yeah.
This is all off the cuff. This is all just right after we've seen the movie.
Raw emotion, raw material.
It's going to be a lot of raw emotion.
Lots of raw emotion.
A lot of raw emotion.
It's definitely a movie you leave feeling things about.
Definitely feeling things, and we will get right into that. So today, again, we're going to be talking about this movie, and you know, if you haven't seen the film, but if you're interested, I would recommend checking out a trailer or two, or maybe not. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically a dirty dozen of villains that don't think they're villains, if you will. There's a government agent that recruits all of these bad guys to run these black op missions that the government doesn't want to be directly involved with. With metahumans, a lot of shady stuff. A lot of shady stuff and whatnot. So yeah, the film, or I should say, she gets all these people together to do all this stuff, and usually for a bigger bad, as it were. So they're using a team of bad guys to fight an even bigger bad, or a metahuman, which is what they call like supervillains.
Kind of like the election this November.
There you go. There you go. Throw in a little bit of politics. And so, starring in the film is Will Smith as Deadshot. He's the Deadshot. He's the world's most infamous hitman, I guess you could say. He never misses. There's Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie. She is a crazy woman related to the Joker.
She's not related to him.
Well, she's not related to him in that way.
They're not kissing cousins.
They're in a relationship, I guess would be a better way to say that. Jared Leto is plays the Joker. Viola Davis, I believe is her name, plays said government agent Waller. That's her name.
Sure.
Amanda Waller. Ben Affleck even makes a cameo in the film. So
don't spoil too much.
Well, that is in the trailer, so.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, so anyways, it's like a team film, but of these, definitely flawed characters. That's kind of what I would say that's how the film kind of presents most of the characters, is that they're these flawed characters. I mean, they do emphasize we're bad guys, but it's not, only for a few moments in the film do you really see, these are really bad people. And some of them are worse than others, I would say. So that is we can get into that more.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get into that. But yeah, anyway, so that's kind of an intro to the film. If you still have questions, or if I was too long-winded, again, check out some other trailers. But yeah, we want to talk about it. So what were your what were your expectations going into the film?
Well, my expectations shifted a lot over the course of the different trailers being released. I think everybody's initial reaction to seeing the first trailer was, holy crap, this looks incredible.
Yeah.
Extremely mature, extremely dark.
Yeah.
And I think everyone basically had the same reaction to the original trailer. Second trailer comes out, in which you get to see a little bit more of the humor, a little bit more of the zaniness, as it were, of the film.
Yeah, it has Bohemian Rhapsody, I believe.
Yeah, it switches to the Queen song, which definitely sets a different tone, but they still work. The two trailers work. Then critic reviews start coming out, and they're not good.
Yeah.
And you've got all these different opinions that are coming, and this movie that initially was supposed to be one of the best films of the season suddenly is just getting horrible reviews left and right. So you go in, at least I went into it with it's all up for grabs.
Yeah.
I went in totally unaffiliated, as it were. And so
just kind of wanting to see
I kind of
how it-
like just stripped my mind before I went in, and my general impression, it was an extremely flawed movie that I had a good time watching. Does that make sense? I had a good time watching it, even though like every few seconds I was like, oh, that was bad. That was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad. That was awesome. That was bad. You know? So, how about you?
Yeah, well, kind of with Asia. It's funny, I actually saw the first trailer with Asia, and I definitely remember it's one of the best trailers I've ever seen. And it's very dark. It's very weird, and I was buying into it. I'm like, I like this tone. I like what they're doing here. I'm very interested to see what they're doing with the Joker. Like, wow, Harley Quinn looks like an interesting character. And the second trailer came around. It was very, like we said, Bohemian Rhapsody. It was very, like, they played a lot more to the humor. There was really no humor at all. If I can remember, there was a little bit, but barely any humor in the first trailer. And a lot of humor in the second trailer, to the point where I'm like, it almost feels like a comedy. And then the third trailer was almost like a mix of both, and I was like, I don't really know what to think about this movie, because I really wanted to see the first movie. Let me rephrase that. The first trailer,
Right.
I really wanted to see that movie, the movie that first trailer presented.
Yes.
I really wanted to see that.
And I think most people did.
A lot of people liked the second trailer
Just
with the whole zaniness, kind of weird, like
It fleshed
it's like
it
an
out a
action,
little bit more
funny
to me.
action movie. I was like, I don't know if I want to see this as much. Like, it looks fine, but I don't know if I want to see it as much. I didn't necessarily buy into the film that the second trailer was presenting as much as the first one. We're talking a lot about the trailers, but it's important to this, because to clarify, I mean, that was the commercials for the film have really been what I knew about the film. I really tried, because after I watched the first trailer, I was like, I mean, I looked up some things about like the making of the film, but I really wanted to avoid most, especially like opinions and reviews and whatnot. So I didn't look at any reviews before I went and watched the movie. So so to just finish up my answer. Yeah, I definitely was with Asia. I was on the fence. I was like, this could either be a great film, or it could be it could be a bad movie. Like I was like, I have no idea. So going into it just a few hours ago, and now we've come out the other side, haven't seen it. So yeah, you have something written down. Did you want to?
I think I'm
Jump
just
on
gonna
the
scrap the questions I wrote just because they're not going to be relevant to our conversation. Okay. So best.
That works. Hold on. What are we drinking?
Organic milk.
Organic milk. What is it? Fat free? 2%.
2%.
2%.
Okay. Let's just start out. Worst things about the movie. Then we'll go into best things. How does that sound? That'll kind of cover all the bases.
Yeah. You want to go first?
Me? The first thing that I noticed about the film that kind of immediately took me out of it was I don't want to say the editing was choppy, I would say the pacing was choppy. There was definitely some pacing right off the bat that I felt as you watch it, you're like, there was something there that they took out because it didn't work, but the edit didn't turn out great. Does that make sense? You could tell that there was some stuff missing, or that other stuff had been filmed to fill in for something that was missing beforehand. Pacing I felt was choppy. CGI, I'm a really picky CGI person.
Yeah.
Like, if we ever review Lord of the Rings versus The Hobbit, you will hear me curse the editors of The Hobbit and praise What a Workshop for Lord of the Rings. I'm a huge fan. Anyhow, I was not impressed with the CGI. Sure, there were some good moments, but was not impressed. They could have done a lot better. They didn't need as much of it. I usually think movies don't need as much as they use. I'm a big practical effects fan. What else? We'll get into more of this. The Joker, number 1, was the best part of the movie. Number 2 was completely a non-entity as far as the actual plot was concerned. He was there. He was like Harley Quinn's sidekick in this film, which is a very interesting and cool concept to work with. But that wasn't what the trailer told us would be happening.
Yeah.
And that, I feel like, was the hardest thing to resign yourself to. Like, I could get past so many things just like letting go my expectations. That was not one that I liked having to let go of, because we'll get to the best things about it shortly. So,
holy crap! So when we sat down, or I should say just a few minutes ago, I was thinking, okay, we're not going to go into spoilers. We're going into spoilers. We're spoiling the heck out of this thing. So go watch it.
Pause it right now.
It's worth
and
a watch.
Then go buy a ticket and watch it.
Or if you don't care if we spoil it, we're spoiling
the whole thing. Okay.
Okay.
Like Asia said, like you said,
yeah.
The Joker. This is one of the biggest. This is one of the most disappointing things of the whole movie. Okay, so in the trailers, if you've seen the trailers for this film, you see the Joker. You're like, oh, he's the most recognized character by far. Most people have never heard of Deadshot. A lot of people haven't heard of Harley Quinn.
Nobody's heard of the Enchantress.
Yeah, exactly. The Joker is like that. He's like the main, like he's heading up the cast in a way. Even if you look at the poster, Jared Leto is up there with Will Smith. Like, he's a main character. That's what you think.
He's like the punchline of the trailer, if that, no pun intended with the Joker. But he's like what you watch the trailer to get to.
He's the punchline to the trailer, but okay, this is,
I'll try and put it as plainly as possible, but 90%, this is really disappointing. If I could hear this before I saw it, or after, whatever, I would be really disappointed with this. But here's the truth. 90% of his scenes were not necessary. What I mean by that is you could literally take them out of the script and it would not have affected the script much at all. The main reason he's in the film is for Harley Quinn. She's really the main character with Will Smith as Deadshot. Harley Quinn is like one of the main characters. The Joker is there for Harley, for her character development. He could be in the film for maybe 5 minutes at the most, and that would be all he needed to be in there.
He has nothing to do with the plot.
Now, I'll say, this is kind of spoiling some of my favorite moments, but I loved the Joker in the film. I wish he would have been in there more. But what I'm criticizing is not the Joker, but the script.
Yes. Okay, so we'll just skip ahead to one of our both of probably our favorite thing.
Yeah.
Jared Leto was an incredible Joker.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. He's a huge Heath Ledger fan. That's good. He is my favorite Joker. I loved him.
Felt like a pat on the head. Heath Ledger, he's good. I mean, he won an Academy Award for his role, but he's fine. I mean,
posthumously.
He's fine.
He was incredible. My favorite Joker ever. His chemistry with Harley was fantastic. He was great.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not criticizing Jared Leto in the movie as Joker.
Yeah.
We are saying put him in more of the movie. Give him the screen time we thought he'd have. Go ahead. Sorry.
All right, I'm gonna try and finish up my initial impressions. What I was disappointed by.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay, so I'm not angry at you. I'm angry at the movie.
I know.
Okay.
Movie.
Okay, so Joker. That's biggest disappointment.
Yeah.
90% of his stuff was not necessary to the script. I wish he would have been the big bad. I don't know how that really would have worked. Maybe he was just like screwing around with the whole like crew. I wish he like if he was just like I don't even know. I wish that would have happened instead of the Enchantress.
Well,
okay, hold on. All right, we'll get it. Don't worry, we're gonna talk about it. I'm going. The Enchantress, the character in the film, completely boring. Like, I did not buy into it at all. In fact, the ending of the film literally was a CGI battle
the whole
between the Enchantress's brother, who you literally know nothing about and
You
don't
don't
care
care.
about at all.
You don't care about him.
And this character Diablo, who's part of the good bad guys.
He's
whatever.
cool.
He's cool, but again, it's a CGI battle. That's not what I paid to see. Like I wanted,
Yeah.
like you have these like Oscar-winning actors in
Yeah.
this film. Like I wanted some drama. Like I really wanted them to. I wanted it to be an emotional climax, and I wasn't feeling it at all.
To a point, it's in there, but there is more that could have been done with it. The lead, how do I word it? They went from hinting at certain things to the ending with it. The build up did not get you on board to where it was going. It just kind of hinted at it, and then they just jumped straight to the climax, and you're supposed to care about what's happening.
Two other things. Stylistically, again, I've gotten the most disappointing, infuriating things out of the way. The other two things that are on my mind, again, these are stylistic things. One thing, there's way too much music in the film. There was some music, and I will get into this. There was some music I thought was kind of cool, just because I liked the song, and I thought it was kind of fun the way they incorporated it. But there was way too much music in this film, like way too much.
Yeah.
And also, it's a very dark film. The way that it's shot is very dark and bland. It opens in a dark asylum, a very dark and boring asylum that they're all in. It's like a maximum security prison. And then most of the movie, like the day, like literally they're only together for like a day. So there is some character development, but there's not, you don't feel it that much. I didn't think. I mean, there is some camaraderie amongst the team. Like there's a bar scene that was a highlight.
Especially
but
Harley and Deadshot, they have several moments that kind of bond them.
Yeah, but so there are some there. Yeah, but he's not even in the team. I'm just talking about the team and like specifically. Like if you're talking about like how much like time they're together, they're together for like a day or two at the most.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of development as a team.
It's like an evening.
But back to what I was saying about the what their mission is to do. Like they're supposed to stop this Enchantress and also rescue this other team. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. Most of the film, they're in abandoned and dark streets. Like it's not interesting at all. Like there's just, it's a dark film. It's very bland. It ended with CGI battle, and there wasn't enough Joker, and I was just, it's, wow.
Can I add one more thing I didn't
I'm
like?
drinking some milk.
Or can I add one more thing I didn't like, and then we'll go into the things we did like? Enchantress. Okay. Did I already say this about the Enchantress?
What about it?
Her costume change.
No, you didn't.
Okay, so the initial Enchantress that you get, this is the Enchantress you'll see in the trailer or on the movie posters. She's already been criticized a lot for costuming.
I'm sorry.
I could say things about that, but that's not what I'm going to go into right now.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you don't really see her costuming that much because her hair is so long and covers her mostly. However, that Enchantress is creepy as all get out and super cool. I loved her costuming. I loved the effects makeup. I loved everything they did with her. However, like in a quarter into the film, she gains certain levels of power. Again, if you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. And she sort of transforms into this Aztec queen.
Yeah.
With like a CGI body, and she's all cleaned up. Her face looks very different, and all of the creepiness, the threateningness, the spider-like demonic ghostliness, witch-likeness that she has in the beginning and the end of the film is totally gone. I wasn't scared of her. I didn't buy into her.
Yeah.
She should have stayed creepy, spider-like witch the entire movie. I do not understand why they turned her into what... I get the idea of having like a rulership and authority go along with it, but she wasn't scary. Yeah. What's the point of having a bad guy if you don't feel scared of them?
Yeah. I think I'm with you with the whole like her first look, but one thing about that is like it's definitely scary in a cave, like where you first find her, but I don't know how that would really be scary in like a
like they're like
Oh.
it's like a big climactic battle. You know
Well,
what
that's well for me. It was scary because I think they
I mean?
should have.
Maybe it could be. I just couldn't really imagine.
I think they should have had the climactic battle be differently. She's a freaking witch. She can levitate and do teleportation stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you could have made it a creepy mind battle, which they almost did for like 10 seconds, and then it was done.
Yeah.
Like, she could have had them hallucinating and like shooting at each other,
Yeah.
and they could have done so much stuff with it. If she's a witch, why the heck
Yeah.
is she gonna even let them shoot at her?
Yeah.
Which eventually she's like, enough, and all the weapons go flying.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you do that 5 minutes ago?
Mm-hmm.
Before they all almost killed you? Like, anyhow. I love her character. I feel like they did not utilize her to the best of their abilities.
I mean, she's an interesting like cartoon character, but that's about all
See,
she was.
I know very little about her, which means
No.
those
What
of
I mean
you
by
who
that
do
is like
are
she's like
probably
a
hating
cartoon.
me.
What I'm criticizing, I'm saying she's like a cartoon. I'm saying like she's an interesting concept.
Oh, I see.
But
what
like
you
she's
mean.
not really a character. Like, what do you even know about June
You could-
Moon
let's
other than
just
the fact
do it.
that she's like a rock climber
Let's
and
just
she
say you
likes
could've-
Rick Flag?
You could have fleshed it out more.
No, I'm saying potential. I'm just saying in the movie.
Yeah,
she's
in
not
the,
an interesting
in the
character.
movie, they should have fleshed her out more. So now I have
so
to talk about stuff we did like.
What did you like about the movie?
The Joker. And we both agree.
Yeah.
Everything with the Joker and with Harley was awesome.
Yeah.
The dialogue was, I don't know, they had the type of character development that everybody else should have had the whole movie. Their chemistry was great.
Yeah.
They're the bad guys, and they're bad guys they're really nasty, but you actually root for them because
Yeah.
number one, Harley, you know, per the Harley tradition, is madly in love with him, and kind of up for grabs.
Yeah.
The Joker actually really likes Harley in this.
Mm-hmm.
In other past traditions, she's kind of just a pawn and like a pet to him. And he doesn't really care about her that much. But in this one, he does.
Yeah.
And that's a really interesting dynamic to see. Like, what lengths is he willing to go to get her out of this prison or
Yeah.
other chaos that ensues. But their relationship, I think... The way I worded it earlier, I think that they should have been two separate movies. The Suicide Squad and then a Harley and Joker film. Because I feel like neither aspects got as fleshed out as they deserved to be. Because there was so much good potential there. So loved... I almost said Jay Leto. I loved Jared Leto as
Jared
the Joker.
Leto.
He
It
was
sounds
so
similar, it's
good.
fine.
He was so good.
Yeah.
What else did I like? Will Smith is Will Smith. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, he has some legit laugh out loud lines.
Yeah.
It was really, really funny.
Yeah.
He's like the only funny character in the movie. Others try to be, but they don't succeed as well as he does.
Yeah.
Loved the Enchantress's original getup. I thought she was super creepy and great.
Yeah.
And I liked the way they worked with the music. I agree with J Mark, it was a little much for me, but I do like the cover soundtrack style. I think that that's very engaging.
Well, what do you mean by cover? Because almost all the stuff was the original artist.
Like, they wrote it for the movie?
No, I'm saying that the music that was in it was like that was the original artist.
Well, what I mean is they didn't have people write songs for the movie aside from 21 Pilots, and I think...
And that's at the end credits.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
But
there's a song on the soundtrack that it's in like the background, so that doesn't really count. But.
Right, but like Bohemian Rhapsody, it comes back up in the film.
Yeah.
I like that. I like it when people take songs that we know. I think every film now is kind of trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy because they did it perfectly. You can't do that.
Yeah,
exactly the same
especially
way.
with Guardians, because that's like the music is literally part of the story.
Yeah, because he's got
like,
the cassette tape.
That was, I mean, I still remember being blown away by that. I was like, that's so like emotionally like
Yeah.
connects you to the character.
Yeah.
But are there any other favorite moments
Any other favorite moments?
that we didn't hit on? Because I mean, I can share mine. I just want to make sure you did.
Yeah, I can't reiterate, I can't say enough how good Jared Leto and Margot
Robbie,
and how good they were. They were so good.
Joker, and Harley.
You go next.
I agree with Asia. I did like him as the Joker. My favorite scene with them was the toxic waste scene. I thought it was just really, it was really cool. It was really weird and disturbing, but it was really cool and actually kind of not cute, but almost like lovely in a way. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really hard to describe. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But like her transformation scene from like crazy to really crazy, and you know they're kind of.
It's kind of like her. It's kind of like her.
It's a love
consummation of craziness.
Yeah, for lack of a better word. Like yeah, it's like it's almost like a love scene between the Joker and Harley, emotionally. In a way. I did like Will Smith as Deadshot. I thought he was very. You did feel for him. I thought about I didn't tear up, but I thought about tearing up between a scene when with him and his daughter, like at the end. I was like, oh, this is kind of touching. You know what I mean? But I didn't quite get there. But
he was so good emotionally.
Yeah. I also liked, even though it was predictable, I did like how like Harley was caught, you know, when by the Batman, you know, and she's like underwater and he like goes to save her and she like starts like swinging a knife at him and he punches her in the face. I still think that's kind of funny.
Comedic timing was really good right there.
Yeah, and it was just kind of creative. It was like, I mean, it's just like, wow, so many things happening at one time. There's Harley Quinn sticking out of a Lamborghini and Batman is swimming to save her. Like, wow, it's a lot of things for my nerd brain to process. And I like the scene without Me. It's an Eminem song where they're like all getting dressed.
That was a great scene.
I liked that.
That was a scene they utilized the music extremely well.
Yeah, I think so. I did like at the end with the Enchantress how it wasn't really her necessarily, but I mean she just made them like they were thinking about their fantasies. Like what they wanted.
Yeah.
You know, I really liked that you see the Joker without his makeup and Harley's fantasy. I like.
It's almost unsettling. Like I feel like there's almost something more disturbing about that fantasy than anything else. I don't know why. I don't know. I think partially it's because I just could never see the Joker becoming who she envisioned him being in that scene. Which then prompted me to wonder, does she actually like love him for the crazy self that he is, or does she want to change him? Which that like opened a whole can of worms that I kind of had to shove out of my head to finish watching the movie.
Yeah, no, for sure. Oh gosh, let me try and think of like one more thing. I also, again, it wasn't necessary to the plot, but I did like how him and his like goon like hijacked that helicopter and then they were like had like a turret. I thought that was kind of cool. And he's like laughing, like spraying his
yeah.
I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I like Batman.
It was classic Joker.
I love Batman.
Classic.
And Ben Affleck, to be fair, was great in all three of his scenes. So
all 10 seconds he was in the movie.
He was great.
I'm warming up to him as Batman. I really am.
Yeah. So that's what I liked. And this isn't really a finishing kind of thought, but what did you think about? I mean, they're bad guys. You know what I mean? They kill people. I mean, what did you think about them as characters in that way? Like, what do you think the film kind of said about that?
It definitely makes you care about them, for sure. Like, it's so easy. I mean, and, you know, they give you emotional strings to kind of pull. You know, Will Smith with his daughter. You know, he really loves her.
And
Harley.
Just before I forget, I don't want to interrupt, but with this whole this topic of the bad guys, there's a scene, if you've seen the film you know it, there's a scene where the Will Smith's character is where he's apprehended, he's with his daughter, and Batman swoops in to grab him, and like exactly, and Deadshot, you know, goes to kill Batman or to, you know, get him out of the way and shoot him.
Totally
and his daughter stands in front of him, is like, no, don't do it, you know, because she knows her dad, she loves her dad, but she knows he's not a good guy. And Batman, you know, like that scene I thought was actually pretty interesting and well done, and I really liked that. I was like, I love Batman. Batman is my favorite superhero. It's a toss up between him and Captain America, but still Batman. And still when he swooped in, I was like, no, like I I didn't want him to catch Deadshot, but Deadshot was like the bad guy, you know. And so they did a good job with that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's so interesting because I don't
feel
know.
like that's all I need to
I'm
say
not
on
gonna.
this topic.
This is just a random thing from Asia. I'm not gonna tell you what it's called, but years and years and years ago, I read this really horrible, disturbing fan fiction about the Joker. It was based on Heath Ledger's Joker before the movie came out.
Yeah.
It was kind of a projection as to what the author thought that he would be like.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. Extremely well written, so I read the entire thing and stayed up for weeks, like weeping. It was so dark.
Yeah.
However, I read this fan fiction, and when I saw The Dark Knight,
Yeah.
I was not impressed because this fan fiction was so dark. Everybody kept saying, "Oh my gosh, Heath Ledger's Joker is so dark and so disturbing." I was like,
Yeah.
The Joker in the book was the online thing that I read
Fan fiction. Yeah.
was way worse. Way worse. Jared Leto was the type of Joker I was like, you are a loose cannon. I don't know what you're gonna do. I could see him doing anything.
Okay.
Which, I mean, apparently he's a method actor who like sent dead pigs to Margot on set, so apparently it paid off.
Yeah.
But I just, yeah, he was the best part of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Will Smith.
definitely.
I think we talk a lot about Jared Leto, but Will Smith did an excellent job.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did what we expected him to do, which we can't say
He's
for
a
everyone
reliable.
else.
He's a reliable actor. Yeah. So I think we'll start wrapping up now. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, comment. Let us know. We were very critical on this movie.
Yeah.
And you know what? We need to score it. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay.
I would give it a 7
Okay.
because, and here's the thing: do I think it probably does like technically deserve a 6? Probably.
Yeah.
However, like I said to J-Mark, and like you'll learn about me, I can get past a lot of flaws in a film if I walked away thoroughly entertained. Like, if I can leave the movie theater saying, I can see everything that was wrong with it, but it did not diminish the amount that I had fun while I watched it,
Yeah.
that's going to give it a little bit of leeway for me. Like, a movie that's like, this was really well made, did not have fun while I watched it, it's going to go down for me. I care about my opinion too much.
All right. So I think it's okay. You think it's a good film.
I think it was good. I think
Yeah.
I didn't think it. I think it had a lot of problems, but I enjoyed it.
Last question.
Okay.
What do you think Miles Schwarzenegger will think about this film?
I think Miles Schwarzenegger will like it quite a
You
bit.
think so?
Yeah, that's his brother.
Yeah, Miles Schwarzenegger is my brother, and he is 16 now, and we love talking about movies. Shout out to Miles Schwarzenegger. But yeah, I think
he'll dig it. I think he'll think some stuff.
He's
is
pretty critical though. Like he's seen
Is
enough
he?
movies. He's like a little J-Mark in training. Like he's seen enough movies to where I think he will pretty much agree with most of what we said. So, anyways, which is cool. But anyways, figured it'd be interesting to ask. You know.
Yeah.
You know, kind of. We want to communicate to our younger demographic. So, anyways, so,
We have a demographic.
So, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, comment. Again, we were pretty critical on the movie, so let us know if you disagree and why. We'd love to hear about that.
And if our reviewing style sucks, please tell us and we'll make it better.
There you go. But we're always going to be drinking when we review because we love milk and lemonade. Thank you guys for watching.
And always remember, when a sportsman trooper goes to the movies, they normally leave with opinions.
They normally leave with opinions. And comment below and let us know what you want us to review next. Sports Troopers out!